Tony Stark, Sherlock Holmes, Jack Sparrow. Three people you probably hate in real life, but on the big screen we love. These characters are arrogant, selfish, sometimes downright insufferable, and yet they're some of the most popular figures in modern cinema. Why is that? Well, dear viewer, after countless hours of watching TV and my previous psychological background, I've nailed down 3 qualities that make us love these assholes. No, not that type. Get your mind out of the gutter. Let's start with the most popular man in this trio, Tony Stark, Iron Man. When we're introduced to Tony Stark, he's rude, he's arrogant, he's selfish, yet he's comfortably one of the most loved characters in the whole MCU. That's why they're literally trying to break their bank accounts to get him back into the franchise. The key lesson we can learn from Tony Stark is something called the pratfall effect. This is the idea that if someone seems too perfect, people will actually dislike them. Their flaws are what makes them human, relatable, and make their accomplishments feel justified. On a subconscious level, when people can't see your flaws, they start looking for them, which creates annoyance and disbelief. For a quick comparison, look at the likes of Galadriel from Rings of Power, or even Captain Marvel. Unlike Tony, these characters were written to be basically perfect, and you saw how disliked they were by the audience. That's because their achievements were made so undeserved, which made their achievements unearned, causing the audience, me and you, to struggle to connect with them. Tony's flaws, on the other hand, gave him room to grow. Across each film, we watched him evolve from a selfish billionaire playboy to someone willing to sacrifice everything for others. That arc felt earned, and it's a big reason why audiences like him. And if you like him, you might as well like this video, because it's free and you'd be doing me a favour. From one genius to another, Sherlock Holmes. What can liking him teach us? Unsurprisingly, Sherlock is arrogant and rude, but most importantly, he gets things done. I'm sure we've all had that one guy in class who is an absolute dick, but because he gets amazing grades, the teachers turn a blind eye to him. This is known as moral licensing. This is the idea that the good things you do get stored up like credit and then act as a get out of jail free card later on. Sherlock is often blunt, to the point even of hurting his own friend, but as the audience, we know he delivers the results. So part of us just thinks, who cares? If someone saved you from a burning building, would you really care if they called you fat whilst they were carrying out of that fire? Probably not, right? That's what jerks in TV usually do. They hurt feelings, but they always get shit done. And honestly, who wouldn't like that? Obviously, not all jerks are geniuses, which brings us to Jack Sparrow. What does he share with the other two? In psychology, it's called psychological reactance. This is the idea that the more someone tries to restrict a person's freedom, the more people want to push back and support anyone doing the pushing. Jack is the perfect example of this. In the films, his freedom is constantly under threat, whether it's from Barbossa, Davy Jones, or the British. Pirates sail the open sea, basically the personification of freedom. So even though Jack steals, lies, and is completely self-serving, we still root for his hunger to be free and do whatever he wants. After all, we can all relate to having to do something that we don't want to do on a daily basis and having no choice. As I said before, it's easy to argue that these characters are not good people, but you can't argue that they're not compelling, especially to watch. Even though I used each one to explain a different psychological concept, the truth is, they all show a bit of each. Tony is definitely a rebel. Jack definitely gets things done. And Sherlock, he's definitely got some obvious flaws. Which leads me to a simple conclusion. Any arsehole we love on the big screen will usually tick all 3 of these boxes. Think of your favourite arsehole on TV. Do they break the mould? Let me know down in the comments below.